welcome back to this channel. And today I have two special guests, Guy Zyskind, the co-founder and CEO of Enigma, and I also have Tor Blair, head of growth and marketing at Enigma. So Guy, do you guys want to introduce yourself? Guy, what is your role and how did you get there?
Sure. So I'm the CEO, one of the founders who started Enigma. So Enigma really started as my research project at MIT. This was my graduate thesis on how to use blockchain to basically create a secure distributed database. And as about a year ago when I graduated, I started at the company, and now we're working on it, have been working on it in the past year from San Francisco.
Nice. And also Tor?
Sure. So I met Guy and John, are the other co-founder. I met them at MIT. Was also interested in blockchain at the time. I've been interested in crypto actually for a while. I used to be a derivatives trader for about 4 years, and I was looking at Bitcoin back in 2012 and did not invest, and I've been regretting it ever since, but it's never too late to get involved in a growing space. So I'm excited that we all met at MIT and we've been able to tackle like this really interesting application of the blockchain going forward.
Nice. And it's always so embarrassing. We were all here in 2012 and, we missed that boat, but we're still here now and it's going to go even crazier. And Guy, how did you learn about cryptocurrencies?
So actually in 2012, actually in 2010 or 2011, we have like a big IRC group for like our geeky friends. And one of my friends told me, hey, you should run like a miner, we should buy some like graphics cards and like, run a miner. There's this cool thing called Bitcoin. We all completely ignored him, unfortunately. But then in 2012, we actually got curious and interested in Bitcoin. And we actually wrote like bots that try to do like arbitrage trading across exchanges to make some nice profit. That went nicely, but nothing too crazy. But in 2013, I really read about the technology of blockchain and I got like really hooked. And when I started my graduate studies at MIT in 2014, I decided this is what I want to research. This is what I want to focus on.
Oh, wow. That's insane. So you were so super there early and you got into just trading and this technology like quite early on. So yeah. In terms of what you wanted to do, so can you tell me a little bit about Enigma and how that grew from your experiences at MIT?
Sure. So what happened at MIT, we started the Enigma project as a research project. We came up with an idea with the technology needed to build a decentralized data marketplace, one that allows basically people to share their data in a secure way and then to be monetized and incentivized for that via cryptocurrency. That quickly got a lot of attention, was publicized in like quite a few very strong places. I think it's still one of the most, it might even be the most well-cited white paper right now, with like over 100,000 downloads. And that really triggered everything. That's really what started Enigma, the company, and everything else is like history.
That's incredible to have that many downloads. So yeah. In terms of Enigma, what is this data marketplace? Can you tell me a bit more about how that works and why that's important for the world?
Right. So right now, I think we would all agree that most tech companies are basically data companies, data-driven companies. Data is the most valuable asset that we have nowadays. It's the core businesses of most tech companies and even beyond tech companies. You have companies like Bloomberg and Thomson Reuters that just in the financial sectors are making about $10 billion in revenue annually just for aggregating and selling and monetizing data. But the problem is that only these few large organizations control the data, hold the data, can monetize it, and benefit from it. We feel that like if we can open this up, if we can allow small companies, small players, people to actually participate in this data revolution, we could create a much more vivid, a much more useful marketplace with a lot more data. The long tail of data is probably much bigger than the amounts of data that these small companies hold. And we can really change the model of how people monetize data. It's no longer would be just the big companies but also the small players.
Okay, so we have these big players, Bloomberg, the infamous data provider. And how did this cryptocurrency revolution fit into this? How does Enigma help with this goal? How does this work?
So any data marketplace, because of the sensitivity of data, because of the inherent value of data, just like with like actual money, it doesn't make sense to put it like in a centralized position where there's like one player holding it and like, being the middleman of everything. A system like that needs to be decentralized. It needs to be open. If I have a data set I want to share, I should be able to go in a network, in a peer-to-peer network, publish that data set and allow people to subscribe to it, download it, and basically buy it from me. The only way that we can know how to do it efficiently and securely is with the aid of a token and a cryptocurrency.
Okay, and the technology behind it, you keep it quite private as well. That's kind of where the name comes from. So how does that relate? How do you keep that data kind of open because it's on a blockchain and also private, kind of secure as well?
Right. So basically, the blockchain is kind of like the controller. It kind of makes sure that, like, if I publish a data set, someone else can go to the blockchain, see it, and subscribe to it, and pay the fee, whatever fee that is. But the data itself remains off-chain, remains encrypted. We have some pretty interesting technology on how you can actually even keep the data itself private, even when you're doing computations of it. That is part of like our really long-term strategy. In the beginning, like we're only going to do some forms of encryption onto some sensitive data, but not to others. But basically, it all revolves around some more crazy cryptographic techniques that blockchains do not currently use, and we need to develop.
Awesome. And now Enigma is also building something called Catalyst that operates on top of the normal Enigma chain. So can you tell me a little bit what Catalyst is and what it's trying to do?
Right. So here's the deal. Like, we've spent a long time thinking about the data marketplace. We think this could be as big as Bitcoin for payments, but the problem is you need a demand side for everything. You need people to adopt any kind of system. A data marketplace that just provides data for no apparent reason is not very useful. What you need applications that use whatever data lives in that data ecosystem. So that's how we came up with Catalyst. As the name suggests, Catalyst is basically supposed to catalyze, to kind of like trigger the adoption of the Enigma data marketplace protocol. And it is going to be the first application that lives on the data marketplace protocol. And what Catalyst really is, Catalyst is simply going to be the Bloomberg for crypto. You know how I mentioned Bloomberg and Thomson Reuters for normal financial markets? Well, we need something like that for crypto as well. At the current state of things, there's a lot of crypto data out there. There are a lot of new hedge funds, crypto hedge funds coming up that need that kind of data in order to research and try to predict where cryptocurrencies are heading, but that doesn't exist yet. So our hope with Catalyst is to actually become the one place where all of the crypto data exists and where people and hedge funds can basically subscribe to that and use it, just as big hedge funds today tap into Bloomberg for everything non-crypto.
Yeah, and that's quite insane because when I try to research about this, it's kind of incredible how much kind of this computer AI-driven trading has become really popular in the normal classic trading world. And what I felt like you guys were trying to do was you're trying to bring that data to these guys, to provide that data with Catalyst. And the thing with AI trading is it needs a lot of data. With machine learning and everything. So how does people use that platform? Do people plug onto it? How do people interact with Catalyst?
So actually, in Catalyst, part of what we're doing is we are also creating like the tools that you need to actually test out strategies. Think of Catalyst as also like your plug and play kit to start your own hedge fund, crypto hedge fund, right? You can download Catalyst. You have all the tools that you need to start experimenting with different trading strategies. You're going to have all the data that you need to actually predict the market and do everything that you want to do regarding like machine learning and AI trading strategies. all that will exist in one place. We've actually already released the alpha for Catalyst, so like people can go to enigma.co and play with that. You can already backtest strategies, which backtesting basically means that like you write some code saying, buy the dip. Every time Bitcoin goes below 30%, goes down like 10% in one day, buy 2 more Bitcoin. Like it could be as simple as that or as complicated as you want. And you can use all kind of interesting data sources from Enigma to basically do that. And what's actually even more interesting, that in about a week, we're going to also enable live trading. So you would basically be able to test your strategies, see if they work, on historical data. And if you're satisfied, you would just be able to like flip the switch and say, okay, now this is live trading in one of the exchanges.
Oh, that's insane. So they can actually just play around, test it, see if their bots work, and then actually try it out on live. That would be quite dangerous. Are you working with any partnerships? Are you doing any partnerships right now? Is that disclosable? That's
not disclosable yet. We are, of course. We actually are talking to and working with both exchanges from the crypto world. Some of them are very interested in that, hedge funds from the crypto world, but also financial players from outside of crypto. Including very big ones.
Oh, wow. So very big ones are actually interested in crypto market as well. And I think that's one of the things that was developing to this year. So in terms of getting that out in the market, you guys already have the alpha and it's already testable. I actually really wanted to try this. So it's one of the things I'm probably going to do next week, to try to actually build my own trading bot and actually examine that. So hopefully it will work out. So it's actually fully workable, and you can potentially try it on live once it goes up. Now,
yes, I do want to put a disclaimer. This is still an alpha, right? Like we're still very active in developing this, but we think that it's getting to a stage where it's like pretty stable and people are enjoying it, and we're seeing like really good traction and really interesting strategies that people put out. Actually, last week we've put out like a blog post. One of our community wrote a very interesting blog post showing like what kind of research and trading strategies he tried on Catalyst. And there is another blog post like that coming up next week as well.
Oh, that's nice. So people are actually currently using this. I do say it's on beta, so use at your own risk, of course.
Of course.
Now let's talk about development for this. So now you have something that's working in alpha. Once after ICO, what's your plans for the future? What do you want to achieve after that?
Of course. So our first goal right now after the ICO is to basically make this much more robust, move this beyond an alpha version. We have a lot of features that we want to add. So we want to add basically all exchanges to the live trading, but and we want to allow people to do like really interesting stuff like cross-exchange trading, that kind of stuff. Like we're building it that way. I think we're going to be the first platform that allows people to very, very easily trade across exchanges from like one place in a programmable way. That's going to be huge. We want to add tons of new data sets ourselves. What we want to add data sets like ICO and crypto project data set, like fundamentals. That's something that's very important. People don't quite know today how to properly quantitatively analyze ICO projects. And we think with a data set like that and with the research tools that Catalyst gives you, people would be able to do much better analysis and a much more data-driven analysis on which ICOs are going to be successful and which aren't. We want to add like sentiment data, like tweets from Reddit, from Bitcoin Talk, all of that we want to live in our system. But here's the cool part. We are only bootstrapping the data in Catalyst. The whole goal of a decentralized data marketplace is for us to build out APIs, and that's also in the roadmap of the next 6 months, to build out APIs so that anyone can basically contribute data sets and then monetize them directly. So let's say you believe that, this is actually interesting. Someone in our Slack said, hey, I think a data set of Vitalik tweets on which projects are interesting would actually correlate very well with the market, like with altcoins like moving well. And I want to build that data set, So we are definitely not going to do that. But maybe if that's useful, that person can contribute that data set to our data marketplace, to Catalyst users. And if people believe in that, they can buy that off him and use that in their algorithms. All those crazy things are going to be available in our product.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've been talking about for a long time as well, because people really want to ask me this question, how do we evaluate cryptocurrencies? How much are they worth? And it's so hard to do that quantitatively. I think we're still not really at the stage there. And I think what you guys are doing is trying to provide the first step to be able to apply mathematics and not just look at it in a qualitative way, just like, oh yeah, this looks good or that looks bad, but try to use math for it. In terms of these data sets, the more people that come on the Catalyst, the more participation and the more people, that bigger the community grows, and that way you can provide more data. So how are you guys trying to get more people into Catalyst?
Right, perfect. So 25% of the token supply is actually going to go to community incentivization, and that is exactly to bootstrap the network. So we're going to actually put bounties for people to add new data sets. We're going to work with our own data scientists to build some of the data sets. In the beginning, until the system is in a full force, we're going to put bounties for people to create specific data sets for the community. And on the flip side, we're actually already running Catalyst contests. That is actually similar to the Numerai idea. Basically, people can build trading bots and trading strategies, right? And they can publish them on our website, on the Catalyst app, and we're gonna see which one performs the best, and we're gonna give Enigma tokens to those who perform the best and beat the market.
Oh wow! So you can participate these quants that can come in and actually play around and actually contribute stuff. That's pretty cool. Exactly. Okay, so I just heard that you guys have some of your own data scientists as well. Can you tell me a little bit about your team?
Sure, of course. So most of us met at MIT. So most of us are MIT graduates. I've done research in the last few years mostly around cryptography, but before that I was the CTO of a data science company, which also spun out of MIT. And I also done a lot of work around data science, some of it around predicting crypto markets, actually. Toa here, who's also on the line, has quite a bit of experience as a data scientist. And we are having a potential collaboration with a big university, which you can guess which one, on also doing cryptocurrency research and data science research based on the tools, on Catalyst tools that we're building.
So let's move on to the Enigma token and the ICO. Before I want to start the ICO, I do want to clarify one thing, which is that people were complaining that you guys were hacked. So can you tell me a little bit about what happened and how you dealt with that?
Of course. So about 2 weeks ago, we've had a well-coordinated, sophisticated scamming attack that basically compromised our Slack channel and our landing page. Yeah, so one thing I just wanted to mention is that we have a huge community, right? We have over 10,000 people just in our Slack. Our Telegram is getting close to 8,000. We have really large communities, and I do want to give a shout out to all the people there. They've been amazing in handling this. When the phishing attempt happened, so many people of our community have basically immediately warned all the other participants. I think that really helped in making this attack much smaller than it could have been. They also alerted the Enigma team, and we were able to react very quickly to that. And I think that's actually my takeaway from this, right? We have to be responsible and to do everything that we can, working with outside auditors, working with people from the community and beyond it, to do the best we can to protect everybody. But having a strong community that vouches for one another and helps people and make sure no one gets hurt, I think that's the amazing thing, and that's what we. I know that's the nice thing that I've learned from this, and that's the thing that kind of keeps me happy and optimistic about where the space is going.
Nice. And it's good to get the elephant out of the room. Now we clear that, and I'm happy that the community has really been very responsive and dealt with that very efficiently. So let's talk about the token. So what is the value of the token?
Data is the most valuable currency that we have today. We've seen that. I've mentioned that in the introduction. what we feel like, and that's true both from a technical perspective, but also from a social perspective, is that data needs to be marked with a token, with a currency. Data has value, and we need a way to capture it. So the whole idea of the Enigma token is to basically capture the value of data. If you are enlisting any kind of data set in the Enigma platform, that you can set a price in Enigma tokens to that data set, and then anyone from any application that is using the Enigma data marketplace, like Catalyst, they could interact with those data sets, and they could basically buy it off the protocol layer. So if I'm an algo trader in Catalyst and I need more data for my crazy machine learning algorithm, I'm going to go into the Enigma protocol. I'm going to see what data sets are available, and I'm going to buy, subscribe to data sets with Enigma tokens.
So Tor, can you tell me about how users can participate in the crowd sale?
Sure. Right now, what you're going to want to do is go to token.enigma.co. That's our token sale landing page. There you're going to see a place where you can enter your email. Enter your email there and click register. It'll ask you a couple of questions, and then once you finish the registration, you'll be entered into the system for the crowd sale. And then as we get closer to the crowd sale date, which is September 11, you'll have more instructions for what you need to do to become an actual contributor.
Cool. So it's all on enigma.co.co.
Yep, enigma.co is our landing page, and if you want information specifically about the token sale, that's going to be at token.enigma.co.
Cool. So guys, thank you so much. I hope you learned a lot about Enigma. If you guys have any more questions about the project, do leave a comment below, and I'll pass it to Guy and Tor, and they can help you answer the questions. There's also the Slack channel. I think that's a great way to get information. Or if you're extremely adventurous, the Telegram group. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys see you again next time, and I hope to chat to you guys a little bit more about your project.